All right, hi, welcome everyone. This is Voice of the Company. We have myself being the host, Christoph. We have Brian, and we have Alex. Today we are discussing the Avengers Infinity War movie. So we saw it yesterday.
This guy was a waste of time. I just put that out there.
Don't start like that.
Oh, okay. Well, what was I gonna say? All right, we start. Let me go. Let's just start straight off.
No problem.
Movie begins. I'm gonna lie. Hulk. If you're not too sure, we talk about Hulk. All right, the guy on top of this cup here. He starts off good. All right, everything's going good. He does deliver a few punches well.
Yeah.
So he gives him a good.
Yeah,
he gives him a decent beating.
Yeah, well, he didn't draw blood on it. You know who drew blood?
Well, see, that's the thing. How the hell he managed to get beat up that bad? I wouldn't say how, because I know how, but it's very depressing.
The start was depressing. Seeing all of the Asgardians dead, except for the two brothers.
I don't know, Loki, Jesus.
Yeah, I'm very depressed that Loki is gone. Loki is dead.
Oh yeah, right.
Thanos
There's
strangled
spoilers.
life. Spoilers.
We have. I think you should know that by now.
Spoilers.
No. Hulk.
Maybe he's not dead.
Who?
Loki is dead.
Well. Then again, there was a reference. Was it Chris Pratt that made it? No, I think it was Thor. There was a part where Thor said,
He's been dead before.
He's been dead before, and then he said,
before.
I think he might actually be dead this time. And there was someone said something. I can't remember what it was.
Thanos, when he strangled him, said there'll be no more revivals.
Well, I remember
resurrections.
Yeah, no resurrection. I remember that. I remember that part. But there was something I heard a reference. I can't remember what the hell. Who said it? But I'm pretty sure there was a reference that was made towards the mentioning of Loki's death within the movie, not outside the movie or from reviews or anything like that. It's just within the movie itself. So I don't know. All right. The way how the movie ended as well, that's a whole.
Before we reach the ending, let me just say something.
Yeah, you see.
When Loki introduced himself as Asgardian. He introduced himself as true heir to the throne of what is his name?
Asgard.
Not Asgard. Of oh goodness.
Rightful king of
the ice planet where he's really from.
Oh jeez. This is
But also not to hijack that, but he did say Lord of Mischief. We finally get that Loki identifies himself as Lord or God of Mischief, which is pretty cool.
That's a given.
Yeah.
I was trying to find out where it was. Anyway, I okay. I do, however, feel Loki's scene there was very theatrical. All right.
Theatrical. Why?
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like I was watching a Broadway show for some reason. All right. I do like his attempt at stabbing Thanos. It was well executed to a certain degree. The problem was the speech. The speech that he gave is what threw it all off for me. Like, even if I was in that situation, I'm pretty sure if I was there and he was approaching me and was giving this long speech, I would literally be like, okay, I know the type of person you are. I know the type of character you are.
Yeah, because
right?
Yeah.
I can already predict you're going to
come with something.
Because the speech was more than 10 seconds long. It was very overdone. I'm like, okay, I could see you're going to do something. I don't know what, but you're going to do something.
Yeah. Because Thanos, it's not like this is Thanos' first encounter with Loki, because we heard Stark as well say it. He's who sent Loki. He's the one who sent.
Banner.
Who said it? Banner.
Right.
He's the one who sent the attack on New York. So
yeah, that was when he went to see Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
That is that. Okay, one of the points. This is purely connected to along with Loki as well. Is him stating or his approach to Thanos with the knife and so on. I personally did feel like throughout the movie, a lot of the characters did engage with Thanos in that manner a lot. And when I say that, I mean you know the guy already has a couple Infinity Stones on him.
Mm.
You already know the strength and power of him. Why are you going for such obvious shots?
Mm-hmm.
And this comes to my reference of Spider-Man. That's why I just loved how he executed everything in general, is because it is how Spider-Man is. He's not really predictable. He does things in a very unpredictable manner. And I guess, to a certain degree, that's what gave him a slight advantage when he was facing Thanos. Not a huge advantage, but a slight advantage.
Mhm.
We do need to talk about his introduction. At least for me personally, I do think we do need to talk about how Spider-Man came into the scene. All right.
Before you go there, just before that scene is where Stark came up and he introduces nanotech.
Okay,
That was a blow away moment.
No, yeah, that was.
Firstly, he zipped his jacket up. So I thought, okay, the jacket is part of it too, but then he died.
No, yeah, that was pretty cool. I wouldn't lie. I wasn't sure what was going to happen because even just given from the trailers, you never really saw much.
Mhm.
The most they ever did with regards to his suit was show.
When he blasted off, his feet came together and.
No, there was that.
There's the
There was
rocket
that
parts.
part, but as into actually showing the suit coming onto him,
Yeah, they didn't show.
the only thing they did show was where you saw the nanites, or you
Creed.
saw something.
Yeah, we saw
You didn't
part
know what
of
it
that.
was.
We saw part of
We didn't
that.
know what it was. All
When-
we saw was a
when
cool
yeah.
particle system effect happening
He
on his
he
skin.
took off his shades and it was coming up.
Right. That's all we saw. So we
Yeah.
didn't know what it was. And then when he mentioned the whole fact that it's nanites and
Mhm.
things like that, I must say that jacket, I want one of those jackets because that jacket actually does look pretty cool.
It does.
But the whole, I don't know, it's simple. It is very simplistic, and for it being Stark, he has to be very flamboyant with how he presents and does things, and
Mhm.
I think that was a really nice way of him entering that whole new suit
Yeah.
sort of thing. Right, at least that's my perspective. I don't know.
Anything, Alex?
Let's see what you had to say.
Did any of the past movies mention anything about nanotechnology?
Nah, no past movies from within Iron Man mentioned nanobots or anything like that. What everybody was speculating is that it would have been the bleeding edge, but as we know, the bleeding edge comes from his body rather than the little housing on his chest. Because so he just tapped it and everything just happened.
Mm-hmm.
No,
To be honest, now see, this is the thing. This is at least how I see it. When it comes to Iron Man, whether or not they did mention nanites previously, I don't think it really is that. To me, it's not that big of a deal. Simply because we do know since the first suit, he has been trying to compress his
Mhm.
suits in general.
yeah.
Right? When the first Avengers movie, what was it? Was it called? Is it Project 7 or something? I think it's something 7. Or was it Prototype 7? I can't remember what it was called. Where he has the two wristbands, like when he was distracting Loki.
Oh yes.
And
yes.
well, Loki.
That was so I think it was Iron Man 3 where he actually had developed it further. Where he was sleeping and the belt
Yes,
came.
yes.
So in 3 was
We saw that.
was a comeback of a fully developed somewhat from the Avengers the first Avengers
Yeah.
movie.
Now the difference with Iron Man 3, and I see this is about the timeline. With Iron Man 3, he did have control over an entire suit.
Mhm.
And that was like, no, I don't know if that was the first introduction, but I believe it was one of the introductions, at least from what I remember, of him when he was calling the individual parts.
Mhm.
And he was waiting on, I think it was one of his hands to come through one of the walls or something like that. And I believe I guess I'm assuming when he did that prototype, he realized, okay, this is not the most feasible
Mhm.
option because everything is coming at its own sort of time. Some have quicker thrusters, some have slower thrusters, and it may take a little longer. And that's where I believe he started going with the more compressed route.
Was Iron Man 3 before Age of Ultron? I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
in Age of Ultron, he also used that feature when he went for the staff. Because
Yes.
he came out of it, he said, scan the room, he found the secret door.
Yeah.
So
And it was also in Civil War.
was it in Civil War?
Well, we saw a form of it in Civil War with his watch.
When yeah, just the hand.
Yeah,
when he blocked the ball from Bucky.
Yeah, there was that part. Yeah, I don't think. Well, from my knowledge, I don't remember any mentions of nanites. To be fair, I don't really think it's I don't know, a huge plot killer or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I just see as a form of progress.
Right. So back to what you were saying about Spider-Man's entrance.
Yeah,
Spider-Man's he came with his normal suit. Swung in, saved Tony.
No, it's not just saved. All right, it is the fact that was it a truck? There was a truck.
No,
Something.
no.
Someone threw something at.
Oh goodness, I can't remember his name. One of Thanos' children of
Yes.
of Thanos.
Was throwing something at Iron Man. He
claw,
was already down.
the claw.
Yes, the claw. And literally, you just all of a sudden just see it stop, and then you just see.
You didn't see Spider-Man at all.
Then
Tony
you
was
see
like,
his head
Tony was like, and then it stopped, and then
yeah, Spider-Man's head just pops up
Okay.
inside, and that was a
it was
pretty
a start.
That was a cool
I
introduction.
like how Pete always calls Tony
Mr. Stark. Yeah. That to me that was a nice introduction. And skipping a lot of fight scenes ahead.
Yep.
We come back to this particular individual.
Yes, he was part of one of the first fight scenes. Sorry, the second fight scene in that large number of fight scenes throughout the movie. There were many fight scenes.
They're all really too many for me to think
What
of.
do you mean?
So the second fight scene.
Second fight. Yeah, it was the second fight scene.
Yeah. That was when New York. So the first fight scene is on Thor's ship and so on, and the second fight scene is in New York with which includes Doctor Strange.
You,
Yes,
you don't remember when
Wong.
when they saw all the breeze and the wind and Stark asked
Oh yeah,
Doctor
Stark,
Strange,
yeah.
are you moving your hair, or you happen to be moving your hair now,
Happen to
would
be
you?
moving your hair.
And you just see his hair
But it
fluttering.
was Banner, not.
No, that's
Exactly.
after Banner had came in.
That's the
That
nonsense
was
we're
after
talking
the
about.
warning and everything.
We're talking about the fact that he did not make himself present at all. Right? It's the fact that you have this big fight scene going on, and I do like the comedic side of things of
There was a lot of comedy.
of how Iron Man how Iron Man sort of doing the introduction and saying, okay, Banner, you're letting me down here. I need
That was quite funny.
I need the green
they
guy.
were all like ready, in the ring, ready to box.
Everyone
Guys
ready to
coming at
fight.
them, and
Exactly.
he was just trying to force the Hulk out. But I think that Hulk has become his own personality and his
He
own
is.
being. In terms, well, we've seen it literally in this one.
No, we
Because
saw it first
I
round.
find he was very childlike.
he was.
Well, he
childlike.
was. What is not that's the thing. You would say he was childlike, but it wasn't that this was the first time he was childlike. In Ragnarok, he was the exact same way.
Yeah,
Right.
and I
There
think
was-
that is where he actually remember so Avengers the first one, Banner had a little more control and was able to actually bring him out, and he told Natasha, "This my secret is that I'm always angry." He just brought him out
Yeah.
because Hulk has not been fully Hulk on his own, being able to properly develop his own strength and
that's
willpower,
where-
and that's where Banner at this round wasn't able to just. I'm always angry and just.
No, you
bust
see,
out
the
as
thing
Hulk.
is, now remember, in Ragnarok, it was stated that if Banner turns into Hulk, he may stay as Hulk.
Which
Be-
happened in Ragnarok.
Yeah, because it took him a very long time to change back, and then when he had to turn into Hulk, the only way he was able to do so was throw himself over the helicopter, or was that plane, whatever it was. But he is childish. Hulk is a very, well, at least from what we've seen in Ragnarok, he is a very childish character. That's the type of character that at least you see that he portrays and so forth.
So we know that there is a Black Panther sequel coming up. We know that there's a lot of other sequels for movies coming up. We haven't heard anything about another Hulk movie because I mean that
No, I think
since
believe they're done with Hulk.
they're done with Hulk,
As in, when I say done with Hulk, as in finished with the whole Hulk movies.
but they haven't done a proper Hulk trilogy as yet, or even have one or two movies.
I know it's
Under the Marvel banner, they have not, and they
Yeah,
and
and
under
because-
the Marvel
because,
banner,
well, at
it's
least
been
from-
done well.
from what I know and from at least from my personal experience. Just want to check and see if it's still
Okay.
Yeah. From from my personal experience and from what I've witnessed when it comes to Hulk, is that people have stated in the past that they've seen enough Hulk origin movies and Hulk movies in general. Well, at least you see back then, at least when the movies came out, it was just a Hulk movie. It was just a
Standalone.
Spider-Man movie. It was just
Standalones. There's no continuation. There's no planning.
It was a Fantastic Four.
If it is,
I don't know. Are we going?
no, we're not going
Oh,
to Fantastic
okay.
Four.
All right.
No.
But yeah, you had the movies, and I think people at the point in time were sort of done with the whole Hulk thing. I believe, however, now, given the reaction we've seen so far, I believe there's a high chance there may be a slight demand for a Hulk movie that people may be interested in seeing.
Alex, would you watch back a Hulk series, a Hulk trilogy done by Marvel? Would you watch, even if they have to do with our origin story,
I don't know.
or even if the origin story is partly just part of the movie and they have a main villain?
They'll have to put a twist on it.
I don't know.
Well, they already did the Thor, the
Ragnarok, yeah.
with Hulk, and that now the twist was he was a gladiator in space.
I don't know.
They might have to do one. If they're gonna do one, they might have to like either bring in the She-Hulk,
They would have
show
to.
the other versions of the Hulk,
Yeah.
like Grey.
What about Red Hulk?
Jesus Christ, where are you going? you see, the only way they can do, like I say, for me personally, for them to do these things, it would have to be that they would need to focus on those particular stories. And as of right now, I believe.
Yeah, Marvel said in this, so their phases, their plan for the 10-year is over. They have a next set of phases that's going to come up, and I think I can recall, correct me if I'm wrong, that they're going to focus on the mystical side of the Marvel universe. Because I mean, if you think about it and look at all the characters, they aren't much magical besides Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. Who else is there on the mystical side?
You could have said.
Scarlet Witch.
No. But yeah. No. Yeah, Scarlet Witch. Yeah. She's a
You
woman.
could have said Vision to an extent.
No, Vision is. I would think Vision is just one of Tony's superbots.
Oh, but we're going with quotes from the movie now. No, I don't know. The mystical thing I could understand, but to be fair, at least from how I see it, I don't think they're really going down that road. At least from what movies I've seen that are supposed to be out earmarked for
True.
right now, it does not seem to be that way. We have Spider-Man coming out. We have
Black Panther.
well.
Yeah, I think there's a Guardians Volume 3.
Supposed to be. Well, I don't know. You see, if these movies are supposed to be earmarked,
They could just be bluffing us.
they could, but I don't know how it continues now. If you're not too sure what we're talking about, another spoiler: Gamora does die in this movie, and die in the sense of she's done, right? Because Thanos did have to exchange her life to receive her soul to receive the soul stone. And now for another nice little plot twist that just completely threw me off guard altogether was the Red Skull.
Yes, Red Skull was guarding the Soul Stone.
We
don't know where, how, when, but however, as I was pointing out to Brian after the movie, Red Skull didn't die. Red Skull was just beamed up like Scotty. Beam me up. Yes, it was said in the movie too. Spider-Man was like, so going back a little bit, when Spider-Man was taken, he was like, Mr. Stark, I'm being beamed up.
Yeah, Spider-Man's references to old movies.
Yeah. Tony actually asked him to stop the pop culture.
Yeah, because you can't tell that he's young.
He's young. So
expected.
any movie is an old movie.
Yeah. But no. Wow. What were we talking about?
Red Skull.
Right. Red Skull. That's it. Yeah. Red Skull to me that did slightly throw me off because I really did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
I
liked how they brought it back. Though.
However, though, I'm confused with his statements and the wording on things that he said. Right. So the fact that he mentioned what was it he said? He said
He knows all who comes seeking.
No, his curse is that he knows everything. He knows everything about whatever. So something along those lines. And to me, that was a little confusing because, well, to start, well, I don't know. It was just very, very confusing. How? Because where he was, I don't see how
the mind was it the, what that was the
Soulstone. Was it Soulstone?
no I don't see how the oh goodness, the one that he was fighting for.
The Tesseract.
Yeah, what stone was that again? Oh goodness, I keep forgetting.
Space.
Space, right? The space stone. I don't see how the space stone took him to that. Because he was beamed up.
It's not so much where he's located. It's the knowledge. Where's he getting the knowledge from?
True.
Right? For the fact that he knows who Thanos is, right, is one thing. Now, I do know that Gamora said that's where she took the stone. If that means that...
No, she didn't say she took the stone. She said she found a map to the stone and then she burnt it. That was in the video.
Right, okay, it was burnt. Okay,
yes.
okay. Right. Well, it still brings to the question, how does he know who Thanos is? How does he know who Now, okay, fine. Let's say it's a given knowledge to know who Thanos is. Fine.
Yeah.
How does he know who Gamora is? All right. And how is it a curse for him to know? Was it the soul of everyone, or to know everyone, or
everyone who seeks the stone? That's what he said.
What, does the stone give him some kind of power to know who's coming after it? Now, what's your views on Alex?
I didn't really see that part. I wasn't in the cinema at the time.
Yeah, I think Alex had just stepped
Oh,
out to
right, okay. Oh.
washroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of bathroom breaks throughout the movie, but
I did not
we
take
all
any.
I
did not take any
He held
because
his,
you know, I have a lot of respect for this 10-year plan and this
yeah,
10
it
year.
was nice.
Right?
10 years.
No, you cannot say that because you took a bathroom break yourself.
I did.
Okay, so I'm the only person at this table right now that sat through the whole movie.
Just now. Dylan.
Yeah, everyone got
Tyrell?
up. I'm not too sure.
Yes. Because when I left, Tyrell was coming back.
Right. So a little side note: everyone took a break besides me. Right. I'm proud to say that. So we'll go on from there. Spider-Man's suit.
Yeah, we keep
The new suit. We keep sidetracking for where we were going. Spider-Man's new suit.
the Iron Spider.
That is one hell of a suit. And just like the last time with his suit, I love the little... you could call them Easter eggs, but the little snippets that, Marvel keeps keeping in these movies with the parachute. Where if any of you, saw Spider-Man Homecoming, you would know that when he unlocked the entire suit, one of the features that confused him was a parachute. The parachute just came out on its own without any warning. And once again, in this movie, Spider-Man is on a spaceship going towards the atmosphere, gets the new suit, is in absolute awe of the new suit, and then all of a sudden you hear the traditional beep, 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 and then the parachute just comes out. And it just completely throws him off. He's like, oh God, not again. Gets flown back, and then thankfully he was able to, keep his grip, catch himself back onto the ship and so forth. But the suit
looks amazing.
The suit has at least for me personally, I believe the suit has a personality of its own, very similar to Doctor Strange's cape, in the sense. And now the reason I say that, now this is why I say that when he gave Iron Man the plan on stopping one of Thanos' children, you noticed when Doctor Strange was flying out of the ship, he cast a web, caught him, and then was just going out of the ship itself. And then all of a sudden, like Dr. Octopus, arms just come out from the back of the suit.
Yes,
on their own.
Okay,
on their own,
Okay.
right? He was like, okay, wait, what is this? What is
This
it?
is so cool.
He's literally asking, what are you on my back? Right? To the claws. And then
Because
all
it
of a
is
sudden,
not.
yes.
It is not.
And he's holding on to Doctor Strange. But he does not try to come back. He's just holding on.
The legs.
And you
the
see
legs.
the legs push him back.
And push him.
Right. There was the next scene where he was catching
Everyone else.
Mantis.
Yeah. Everyone else.
When he went to catch Mantis, he caught her, and you realize the legs came out once again and protected him as he was rolling.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that Iron Man most likely, or Stark most likely, put some form of
AI into it.
not so much an AI, but
Subconscious.
a sort of a subconscious that
But-
sort of
so
you
like-
think about something subconsciously and it
But
reacts.
isn't it Friday in his suit? Because remember his the first in
No.
Homecoming, the suit that he got.
Yes.
It was Friday.
Yeah, but the thing is, I believe the suit is more acting on its own and independently as opposed to Friday doing anything.
True.
Because really and truly, even in the movie, we don't get a UI shot of with. At least I don't remember. I could be very wrong, but I don't remember seeing a UI shot of inside of Spider-Man's helmet.
Well, it's not really a helmet to say a helmet.
Well, his mask.
I don't remember.
I
We
don't.
don't see.
I don't. Now remember, the thing is, the minute you think about it, his mask and Iron Man's mask, helmets. Iron Man no longer really has a helmet.
Yep, no longer. has
It
helmet.
is more of a mask that he has.
Yeah.
Right. So Iron Man's mask, Spider-Man's mask. There's not much of a difference. However, we do get a point of view of inside Iron Man's helmet. We don't really get that in Spider-Man. Now he does mention that he does like the suit and it's a wicked upgrade and
Yeah.
whatever else. So I didn't hear no voices or anything of Friday within the helmet or within the suit. So I don't know. There very well could be, but I believe there could also be some part of a subconscious sort of thinking within the nanites to how Spider-Man reacts to certain things. And the most famous, one of the famous scenes with Iron Man facing off Thanos when he was trying to stop him and fight him off, and how the nanites were just literally
Rebuilding, yeah.
they
And
were,
it was actually as the nanites rebuilt the suit, he regained power. So like,
Yeah.
as soon as the legs came up, the nanites rebuilt. He was able to give some more power the second.
yeah.
time.
So basically, what was happening is, let's just say my entire arm had the nanites, and I want to sort of compress all the power to my palm. What Stark seems to have been doing with the nanites was he was basically sort of telling them reduce their spread from this part of his arm and just become more dense
On
at
his
one
hand, yeah.
location. And I'm not saying this is Iron Man's hand, I'm just using it as a reference. It was more condensed in one particular location, so it was able to either hold back Thanos a little bit more. And I have to say, I didn't mention this, okay? I am very impressed with Iron Man's fight sequence.
Yes.
I am very impressed with his fight sequence. I'm also very impressed with his strength.
Remember, it's the suit. It's the suit as well.
It is the suit, but that last scene of him facing Thanos,
So
there was more
1v1,
him.
1v1.
There was more him than there were Thanos, because there was a part where you literally saw Thanos going against Iron Man's actual skin. No nanites. That was his skin. All right. What about Tony Stark? All right. Just to draw a reference. This is Tony Stark. This is what we're talking
I
about.
think we can take this off the table.
Yeah, we don't.
Because there was no Hulk in this movie. There was no Hulk.
We're not going back down that road.
Wait, there was no Hulk.
That we're not going back down that road, right? We're talking about Tony Stark at this point, and at least to me, I think it was not sort of marked out, or not, appreciation wasn't shown to what he did, right? And how he put. I'm gonna say he did get a good beating, but
Yeah, but he gave out some good lashes. I mean, because at that point in time, Thanos had what, 5 out of the 6 stones?
who? Okay,
Yeah,
hold on.
just before. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
just
Who scratched him?
this
him that scratched
little
him?
boy here.
It was Iron that scratched him.
Yeah,
Right. So so he's actually the first person
draw blood,
that drew blood on Thanos.
purple blood.
Yeah,
That was weird.
that was interesting. And then Doctor Strange. I don't know. For some of you who aren't realizing, there was just before Thanos came back to Titan and they had their big fight and whatever else. Doctor Strange did have a meditation session, we'll call it that, where he basically was looking into all the different realities in time to see which outcome they win at.
All right, this is literally a whole spoiler here. I mean, in terms of if we really go to talk about it and say what we think, it can very well be that spoiler.
We already told them that Gamora dies.
No, not that.
Oh.
Not that. Is that
We already told them that Hulk doesn't come out. Like, which other spoiler?
no?
We're already
In terms of
going
the
with
theory that you have, that why relating to when
Oh, well,
Doctor
yeah,
Strange looked at all the possibilities
Yes.
and said there's only one winning outcome,
Out of 14 million and something.
Yep.
I can't remember the number. It's a big, really big number.
and he ends at 5.
Yeah. What do you think, Alex? Alex. Bear in mind, when this movie finished, Alex was very depressed. Not because a bunch of people died, he was just very depressed for whatever Alex's reasons are. I'm not too sure. Anything?
Well, probably say that the standout characters, the characters that stand out the most, were the primary three was Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America. Besides, all the others were there, but not didn't really stand out.
You say Captain America. I'll be honest. I don't know. For me personally, I didn't really feel much.
Yeah, and I can answer that question for you. So I was reading a Business Insider where they spoke to the screencast writers, the writers.
Yeah.
They said the reason that, spoiler alert, the reason that guys like Cap, Natasha, they identified those two, they didn't have much. Even though Natasha had a badass fight scene, they didn't have much of a fight scene or much of a role, is because their roles will be more in the second movie. From next year.
No, that I can expect.
Yeah, it has to be, because
That I expect.
there's only certain
However,
Avengers left.
there's only in the entire movie there's only one scene of Captain America that I felt actually excited about.
Which one was that?
Was him and Black Panther.
When they ran in, yes.
Oh my!
Two of them.
That gives me
both of them
chills.
just started running and just left the rest of the pack behind.
That gives me
was
chills. Just
so good.
thinking is you just see Chadwick take off running, and then you just see Captain America just millimeters behind him, and I do love the sound engineering team that worked in this movie, because if you listen carefully, you actually hear that they emphasize a lot more on their feet hitting the ground. You actually could hear their feet hitting the ground when they were running. And that's a great use of technology. But that one particular scene, I felt very
cool.
empowered just right
that
there.
was amazing.
But besides that, I don't. He could have not been in that entire movie for all I care, and it would not have made a difference.
Let me stop and before we not forget somewhat of the most powerful person in this movie. Who would you say it is?
I'm sorry, that's Thor.
Yes. You see, we forgot to speak about Thor.
Because
we started off with Thor. We started off with the Asgardian, but
you see,
let's go back to Thor and what his venture was. Why are you shaking your head and saying no? Why are you shaking your head? You don't believe Thor is the most powerful?
Oh, he was powerful. He was powerful.
Alex, you wished you saw Thor do the full. What movie do they call that? Thor's, in Ragnarok when he drew all the power and he saw his eyes glowing.
Oh, that was amazing.
Yeah, I think you're talking about that.
Well, Thor gets a used eyeball that Rocket had. That was funny because Rocket was just about to say where he had to keep it.
Wait, hold on. Nope, that's the second time Rocket has asked for something and gotten it unnecessarily. Because in Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one,
yeah, he wanted the leg.
He wanted the leg, and Quill actually went and
get
got the leg, and he was like, "Oh no, I didn't."
Something with prosthetics because he asked Bucky for his arm.
He actually might have to for the six. Then again, he might be looking to make himself into.
Something to look into.
You never know. You never know.
What does the comics say about that?
Alex, you're our comic specialist here.
Does Rocket at any point in time become a robot?
I have no idea.
Okay, well, if any of you know, you'll let us know. All right. But no, I I must say, okay, the entire movie, how everything was put together and how everything was executed, I do love that Marvel realized this was one, a very big movie,
Mhm.
and
They didn't
two,
cut it down to 2 hours. They left it at whatever it was.
but not just that, they knew it was a big movie, but they also knew it would have made no sense to put everyone within the exact same scene. And there's a and,
Yes.
I believe there's a couple interviews with the cast members that I watched where a lot of them stated that they did not really get much interactions,
With the
and some
others.
of them were like they're not entirely sure who is in the movie because they weren't on the same set with
Yeah.
them. Right? Apparently, Tony Stark. Wow. Robert Downey Jr. had a village as his dressing room and setup. I don't know. Not sure how true that is. But no, I do like how the movie was put together in the sense of editing. It was edited in such a way where you have Guardians of the Galaxy, right? You have the introduction of Guardians of the Galaxy into the movie. However, you don't see the Guardians of the Galaxy intermingling with everyone. They are, as it literally said in the movie, space.
Yeah.
They are in space.
That's all they
right.
yeah.
They rescue Thor, and they're within the space realm. You then have Gamora, Drax, Quill, and Mantis going to nowhere.
Try to prevent Thanos from getting the reality gem.
Yeah.
Stone gem.
That unfortunately failed.
Failed miserably.
But it was a trap.
It was a trap. He needed Gamora.
He set it up. He set it the reality to look as if she killed him, and wow, she got very emotional very quickly, and I could see why. I give her full respect for why she would.
Because they went back a bit and showed
The guy quite literally
Raised her.
was her father.
Yeah.
All right, to a certain degree. But no, back to how the movie was put together. You had the Guardians of the Galaxy there. You then had the scene with Tony and Spider-Man. And the thing is,
Don't forget the Doc.
and of course Doctor Strange. But you see, I guess the directors know and they realize people love the interaction of Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. Let's not just say Spider-Man and Iron Man, but Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. in the interviews. Their interactions are incredible. On set, off set, they have a very natural chemistry. At least for me, I very much do see Robert Downey Jr. sort of acting as a mentor for Tom Holland to a certain degree. All right, you see that, especially when they go for interviews and things like that. So you have their interaction, and you then see Doctor Strange and his interaction with Tony, and Tony's somewhat of an ego gets in. Not really. It wasn't so much of his ego; it was more of his fear. The fear that Tony has always had since New York. Right? You see that fear.
You saw it in Diamond 3.
You see a lot of the movies.
Everything after. Everything after.
You do see in a
Avengers.
lot of the movies, and I like how I love the editing. Guardians of the Galaxy is here. Iron Man and Spider-Man with Doctor Strange are here. You then have
Thor and Rocket.
Yeah, you have Thor and Rocket. They were also separate as well. You then had Captain America, Black Widow,
Black Panther.
and so on. They were
Bucky,
separate here.
White
You
Wolf.
then had Vision and Scarlet Witch here. So everything was very separate.
Because you know why I think they did that? A lot of people were complaining and speculating that this is going to be too many heroes, and I think that they used
Space them out.
Civil War.
As I said.
Civil War as a testing ground for this, because I mean Civil War had a lot of heroes in it. Not as much as this, but a lot of people complain that there were too much heroes in one scene or two at one time. So probably this is what they did to divide them up.
Well, look, we do know War Machine does not like the fact that we have an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man.
No, it wasn't War Machine. It was
Yeah.
You sure it was War Machine, or was it
Falcon?
not Falcon, Hulk? Because remember he wasn't in Civil War, so he doesn't know Spider-Man. He doesn't know.
No,
Batman.
remember War Machine fought off Ant-Man.
Oh yes.
Remember he was him who said
flung him.
when was it? I can't remember when it was, but there was a part. There was a part where War Machine was like, wait, there's a Spider-Man as well, but the interaction, the chemistry you definitely do see it. And one of the nice things you have to remember, all of these actors and actresses are coming from completely different sets as well. The Black Panther movie, that's a whole other set compared to what was done in Civil War and what was done in the Spider-Man movie and whatever the case may be. And you did see that, they all bridged over very well. And the chemistry did work, and they executed it in a very good way. But that's how I personally feel. There were maybe one or two scenes where the cut edits were just a little too quick for me to then right, we're somewhere else now. But the majority of the movie was, for me, well put together.
Yeah. But how so many scenes, so many teams split up when they went back to Thanos and Gamora actually starting to go for the Soul Stone. I was like, hey, I forgot about that Thanos and Gamora is going for the Soul Stone. Then we jump back to going to Wakanda. I was like,
it's a movie to me.
There's a lot.
I'm gonna say a very cliche thing. It's a movie that kept giving.
Yeah.
Right. It did keep giving it because you're watching the Guardians of the Galaxy scene. And you're like, okay, and oh wait, Iron Man. Oh right, I forgot.
About
you
them.
literally forget that these people are also in this same movie. And like even whilst I was watching the movie, I did find myself at times like, what part in the timeline? No, wait, no, it's all one movie. There is nothing about timeline here. It's all these actors, all these characters are all within the same movie, all within the same realm. Yes, Alex.
I would say that Avengers 3, well, it was okay for one half of a movie.
Kick him out.
No, yeah.
But
Which half of the movie was good, Alex? The beginning?
I'm talking about the movie itself.
The-
It's a
the-
half of a movie.
Yeah, it's part one.
Well,
so-
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the ending was, Thanos won is a
Yeah, because I mean, we can't expect the heroes to always win. And I mean, they've won against the smaller villains, and now this is the boss of boss.
yes, yeah, that makes it very different. That the villain
Yeah,
wins.
that's that. Because I mean, it'll be cliche if the Avengers won. I mean, at least not in this part. And also, it would not allow for a second part.
I like it though. I do like I like the fact of okay, I wouldn't just say I like it. It's the fact that I cannot see anything else happening. I personally can't see it going any other way. It doesn't make sense to go any other way. As we already know, a lot of these contracts are ending. Some of them have already ended. You can't, okay, if let's say Marvel was to approach them and ask them, could you extend your contract for this, that, or whatever the case may be, but it's still but it's still at the end of the day, you can only go for so long, you can't. Now you see, if let's say everything was to just finish with Iron Man 3 and everyone was to be done, I'll be like, okay, that's a little upsetting. I don't know what just happened. I would like to know if there's more to the story or whatever else. But I believe, at least for me in this movie, I don't have the sense of, okay, I want to see more. I am actually appreciating it actually coming to a final chapter.
I think that was I think that was a Deadpool meme, Like, I think there was a Deadpool meme with that. Like he was saying, I don't think there's no need for a part 3. That's how you know.
No, that was in his movie.
That's what?
That was in his movie.
Oh right.
It was in Deadpool's movie.
Right.
It was he said if they stop at part 2, you've messed up. That was him just directing his directors. But no, for me this like I say, I'm appreciating the work, the effort, the talent, the amount of hours that these actors would have put into this movie, and the fact that it is, it's coming to the end. It really and truly is one very large movie.
So then we can say that Marvel, do you have the part 2, Avengers 4 already filmed and in a vault?
This next year.
Yeah, I know, but it has to be already filmed because the guy's contract comes to an end.
Yeah, no.
There's no more Robert Downey Jr.
I believe I would be very wrong, but no. To be honest, no. Hold on. I think there was a theory that they were filming the entire movie in
One go.
one go, and they were finding the middle point in which it would end, and then where it would start back up in the next part.
Okay, so then yeah.
So there is a high chance. Well, it's the only thing I could think of because I highly doubt. No, it has to be because I was seeing an article. Robert Downey Jr. is receiving $200 million for. Okay, yeah, that's his paycheck.
That little ranch that he has
Yeah,
is going to be upgraded.
That's his paycheck. He's receiving $200 million across both movies. That's his paycheck across both movies, and both movies in total, I think, is a 1 billion dollars as the budget.
Right. So as we go to revenues, as of today, it's over 800 million, and it's just 800 million. So it's going. It'll most likely. So the Force Awakens, Star Wars has total 2 billion.
Yeah.
It's almost half of that already, and it's just the first week of showing. So, and this is going to be shown for the rest of the summer in all the cinemas.
You could add like a couple more dollars to that because I know I'm
definitely. It's going to take.
I'm seeing it. I'm going to see it again.
Yeah, right. So he's a double it.
I most likely may end up seeing it a third time. I enjoy the movie. I really, really do enjoy the movie. It's just like Black Panther. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie because it was a movie. It was a movie. This, to me, is what a movie is supposed to be. I don't want to have the camera following one set of characters the entire way through all the time. Even though it is based around them. To me, I believe, I don't know, I just really, really, really did enjoy this movie. I really did enjoy it. There was something we were supposed to talk about,
I can't remember.
It was Thor's hammer.
Oh yes, Thor's hammer.
Oh no, Thor was, what they call it? I can't,
Stonebreaker.
yes, the axe.
New
The axe. Oh.
Axe. Don't call it a hammer. So, right, good. Is Groot worthy, or is
No,
only
don't
worthy,
let's not
is
start
only
this.
worthiness
Now the thing is,
relates to Merman?
No.
Whatever they had.
wasn't that the thing is, wasn't Mjolnir's thing a thing that
Because,
Odin put on it?
Yeah.
Odin put that on there. Now this hammer,
Is that only new hammer?
Alex. do you
Alex.
know- I guess you are.
Odin did put, I believe Odin did put that on
The hammer.
yeah
Yeah.
what is it
Yeah,
called?
only that one.
And the new Stormbreaker. Well,
There's none.
I think
Because-
I
because
think maybe more powerful. I'm not
No,
sure.
it is because remember the elf who crafted it. I can't remember his name. Who was the guy who played that role?
Don't ask me. I can't.
From
I don't
Game
remember.
of
Game
Thrones.
Peter.
Peter something.
Peter something.
Okay, and yeah, for some of you who don't know, he is.
A giant.
Yeah, he's a giant. he's a giant in the movie. All right, I'm pretty sure that was a nice little twist that Marvel decided to go with. That was a really cool thing. But I can't remember if at least I don't believe there was any mentioning of not a curse, but a particular request or demand for the for someone to wield for someone to use the axe. So I believe it might just be purely down to actual strength.
Yeah, it could
I'm
be.
guessing.
But that was pretty cool of Groot because Groot cut off his own arm.
Yeah, well, Groot was very childish in this movie.
Yeah, Groot was.
But I know I expected it. They couldn't do it any other way.
A funny part was where, they asked. So Groot was saying something. I am Groot. He has his own meaning, and Thor was like, "What did he say?" No. Thor understood. Yeah, Thor understood.
Yeah, because
and Thor said back on
Asgard.
speaking, Groot was an elective. So Thor went to school.
Yeah. So
Thor has more to him than there's more to him that meets the eye.
Oh wow.
Transforms.
Okay. So yeah, but no, I do that's the making of that axe.
Yeah. Thor
The
showed
fact was, so yeah, no, you definitely saw
that Thor is
I'm not
right
calling him a
for true.
demigod. I'm calling him
No.
a god. You saw his god abilities there because the Forge had a problem and they needed to hold
The iris,
the iris open.
for the power of a
And-
dying star to heat the metal.
Now to start off with, Thor just literally kickstarted a star.
Yeah.
To start off
Yeah,
with,
yeah, yeah, yeah. He used
right?
rocket as a pull.
After he did that, he then said, "Oh yes, this is the perfect line." Was if right the guy who was making the axe was like, "You do know that if you go and put yourself in front of the beam of the pure energy of the sun, that's suicide." He said, "It would still be suicide if he faces Thanos without
Oh,
it."
the axe, yeah.
So he just he jumps up, takes his hands, and
That's the scene from the trailer.
I don't know if it was a direct jab at Chris Evans. I don't know if you remember
The helicopter,
with the
yes,
helicopter.
yes.
He's holding the helicopter
Yes,
like this.
that was- yes, yes,
right?
that was a nice reference.
You then have in this movie Thor holding this thing open like this.
Yeah.
Right. He's doing the same.
Yeah, the same. Because he could have held it.
He could have held it however he wanted.
Yeah,
he was.
but he was like this.
So I don't know if that was a little teasing stuff, a little mimicking between the cast members and whatnot. Because I did learn that they actually had a lot of free room.
Oh, wow.
With how they wanted to improvise in certain things, there was a lot of control in their hands for that.
Yeah.
So he's doing this, he's holding it, holds it open, and this direct beam of pure sun energy,
Star energy.
star energy, hits this guy. It hits him directly on his back. It was back.
Back, yeah.
Directly
but
to his back.
He turns a bit and his
Yeah, you
face
see,
starts to burn.
yeah, but it hits him directly. He takes the direct impact of this. Now, obviously, at the very end, when he finally he can't hold it anymore, he collapses and his body floats into the room and he falls into the floor. Rocket, you actually see the sympathy in Rocket. He comes out of the ship and he's like, okay, I think he's dying. All right.
You don't never saw that from him.
Yeah.
Besides other than that affection shown to Groot.
Yeah. Then they have issues where, and very comedic. It was very comedic. They can't find a handle for the hammer. The hammer's been made, the metal's there, but there's no handle, and that's where Groot comes in, and the entire movie, Groot is just playing with this video game. He then stops, and he's like, "I am Groot," well, in his very childish voice, and takes his hand, brings it
axe,
together,
yeah.
and wraps it over, and then cuts his hand off.
Yeah.
And that became the handle, and then that's when everything everything just became perfect, because Thor is about to die. You see him grip out his hand gently, and
Sparks.
the hammer,
Yeah,
you see the sparks, and you see that the hammer is going to go towards him. We then have a nice, perfect cutscene back to Wakanda. Things are going on. Everyone's a huge fight scene taking place. Then all of a sudden,
The Bifrost opens.
you just see the Bifrost open, and you just see the Bifrost, right? You don't know what's going on, and then all of a sudden, you just see this axe take off, and the axe just goes. It just goes.
Yes.
And I'm getting actual chills just thinking about that right now. The axe just.
Yeah, the axe is great.
Gosh. Ugh. It was perfect. I love that axe.
The fact that it can summon the Bifrost is pretty cool.
Yep. And it is, as of right now, it is supposed to be the one weapon that can kill Thanos. And this is when we're now coming out to the lower parts of the movie, the ending sort of stuff, and Thanos is
On it.
yeah, Thanos is already
After,
destroyed. He's destroyed everyone. He's
Yeah.
taken everyone out, right? And Scarlet Witch was able to destroy the Infinity Stone that was in Vision, and that did actually hurt her a lot to do. You can see that really did hurt her. She held back Thanos, destroyed the stone, and God, that once again, this is where it kicks you, but always remember,
that'll happen.
you know that Doctor Strange did this for a reason.
Yeah.
He knew, I'm guessing it was probably one of the visions he had, but he knew that Thanos was still going to get it, had to get it. And that's when, you come to the scene where Thanos rewinds time and takes the stone from Vision, killing him instantly, puts on the gauntlet, and he has all power. And that's when Thor just throws this axe. One clean throw. And even with all the power that you see Thanos beaming out towards the axe, it's not slowing down.
I believe it was with the goblet.
The gauntlet, the gauntlet. He started to because I think that there was lightning before Thor came in, and that's where he uses the gauntlet and a beam shoot up.
Yeah,
but it couldn't stop. It couldn't stop.
It wasn't able to stop the axe, and Mr. Axe just goes straight
into his chest.
Straight into Thanos' chest. And
Thor lands, and he reminded him that he said, for killing not for Loki, but for killing what is his name? Idris Elba's character. I keep forgetting this guy.
What you had to say his name? Now I can't remember his actual character name.
Exactly. Alex, what was his name? Hamdal.
Right. Yes.
Right. Yeah. For killing him, because in the beginning when he killed, he killed Hamdal. Hamdal is dead. Hamdal. Is it Hamdal? I can't remember.
You're talking here. I'm not even gonna try.
My pronunciation is bad. When he kills him, Thor told him he'll die for that. So he comes back to him and he said, "I told you I would have died for that."
And obviously when that does happen, you then do see that Thanos just says, "You should have aimed
for my head."
And
snaps.
Just as we did see some foreshadowing in the movie, Gamora said Thanos could destroy the entire universe, literally just like this. We come back to this scene, and he says what he has to say, and then all of a sudden, you just see the gesture of this, and then whiteness.
Yep.
Complete whiteness.
And then he himself is taken to a place that is orangish in nature, water on the ground, pillars, and you see the shadow of young Gamora.
Yeah, and that's where she, and you see this is one of the things I did realize in this movie. You definitely do see that, well, because he got the Soul Stone, because we sort of skipped that part. How he got the Soul Stone is that, according to the Red Skull, in order to receive it, you have to sacrifice a soul. However, it has to be a soul of something that you truly, or someone that you truly love. And Gamora did have a scene, a moment where she felt relieved because she's like, he doesn't love anything. But we then learn that he loves her. Now, Alex knows I already mentioned this before. I was slightly confused. I haven't really read into the comics all too much, but I do know that Thanos only has one actual love, which is for death. And he can't really be with death. But that I know is the one love that he has. So with the whole factor that he sacrificed Gamora and that was the person that he loves, it was a little confusing for me. But you then do have a snip scene where after he clicks his fingers, where he's there standing in front of younger Gamora, and she asks him, "Was it worth it? What did it take for you?" I'm getting going with the case of get what he currently has. And he said everything, and he had to lose everything.
Because just remember, he lost his children as well. His claim, children. Because all of them died.
Right. The fact of losing everything, I'm not too sure if the everything means he lost himself. If the everything means he had to lose her. Or what? Because
he did die as well. Because when he snapped his finger and half of the universe is wiped out, he did mention that when he was explaining to Doctor Strange that when he plans to do this, there's not going to be any bias. There's no going to be selecting. It's going to be fair, equal, just across the board. It could be rich, poor, or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think he died because the gauntlet, it crumbled a little bit.
No, it's damaged.
Yes.
But it is still intact.
Yeah.
It is very damaged.
So I think that he died, and from the comics that a piece of your soul goes, once you interact with the Soul Stone, goes to the stone. And I think that he went to the stone, or probably the part that came back after he died was the part from that was inside of the stone.
I don't know. I just want to know what it is that Gamora knows or knew, because that's another thing that she did mention to Star-Lord. sorry, I forgot his name there.
We don't care about him.
Is that oh gosh, yeah, we really don't. There was a part where I'm gonna make sure that's recording. Where she told him that she knows something that would have an effect or could we could stop Thanos or something along those lines.
No. She just said she knows something, and I think that she was
Or was it
really.
his weakness? I can't.
No. She didn't say anything with related to weakness. She just said she knows something, and she wants Quill to kill her and he asked her, "Well, tell me," and she said, "Well, if you knew, then you'll be dead." I don't think it's a weakness or anything like that. I think that it relates to just knowing where the stone is. But Thanos already knew she knew, and that is why he set up the trap in nowhere.
Well, that could be possible. Like,
Yeah.
What do you think of this?
Well, he did keep what's his sister name
Nebula.
alive. Pretty
Yeah.
much. So yeah.
Okay, well, if I'll be honest though, if that is what she was referring to, that she knew, I was a little disappointed. I personally would have liked something a little bit
More.
yeah,
Well, there could be more.
because I'm definitely seeing a lot of her and him interaction, and I would like to know what that really means, what it is that's going on there.
All right. Well, it's just about an hour now talking about this,
Of course.
so we're gonna wrap it up.
Did we forget anything?
There's a lot we forgot. The movie is 2 hours. I don't think we can sit here and take 2 hours.
True.
We can, but but there's a lot of things that we've missed. Spoilers that we didn't touch on. I think we touched on all the characters a little bit, but the movie was amazing.
We don't like Star-Lord.
We don't like Star-Lord. Watch the
But we
movie.
do like Star-Lord, but we don't like him.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah, we do like him, but we don't like
Because
him.
what he did, he shouldn't have done, but it was necessary, but we still don't like him.
Yeah.
Right.
So, let's just discuss the end credits. The end credits shows Nick Fury and Agent 47. Is that her name?
No, Agent Hill.
Agent Hill, yes. What? I
How
don't
do you get 47?
I have no idea.
That-
I was thinking Overwatch. Something.
Hey,
Yes,
Well.
Hill, and they died. But just before,
no, yeah, she did.
yeah, they died.
Yeah.
But just before, Nick Fury sent a message out, and then pops up Captain
Marvel's logo.
Insomnia, logo. We have seen the leaked trailer for it. It was quite distorted. However, from set photos and information,
We're just very excited.
we're just very excited
we just
because
go with that.
she's going to be a part of the next one. Because if you also go on IMBD website, which identifies the cast members for all movies and so on, her name is there. Her title is there as Captain Marvel.
Oh
And
my god, I can't wait till
Yeah.
next year. Ugh.
yeah, it's gonna be amazing. I want to see what role she plays. And from screenshots, from photos from her set, is that Nick Fury is there, and he hasn't lost his eyes yet. So that's probably
We're going
where
back in
they
time.
would have. Yes, obviously because the set photos show that she was in green, and this one where he contacted her,
Yeah,
showed
yeah.
her logo as red,
Yeah.
gold, and blue.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to look forward to.
Alex, are you ready for the next movie?
What is the next installment in the MCU? What is the next?
Ant-Man and Wasp.
Oh, yes, Ant-Man and the Wasp. You see, we didn't touch on Ant-Man and the Wasp and Clint.
They made reference to
Hawkeye.
it.
Yeah, they made reference there, but we didn't talk about what could it
Well,
be.
I do love.
Because I mean,
love.
I can't see something like this happening on it, and
No, I
Ant-Man.
love that they kept Hawkeye in every single interview, and everyone was like, "We don't see you in the poster. Are you in the
That was
movie?"
good.
And
That was
literally
good.
everyone's
Marvel
like,
is
"Yeah, don't
so
worry,
great
he's gonna be
at
there. He's gonna be
making
there.
us think things and then shooting it down.
He's gonna be there. Don't
Because
you
Hulk
worry."
is in the poster. No, sorry, Hulk is in the trailer,
And in the poster,
running, and in the poster.
there's a poster with Hulk.
But there's no Hulk in the movie.
Yeah.
So we'll wrap this up. Thank you for participating, giving your insight, Brian
Of course.
and Alex. And
Thank
everyone
you,
who's going to be watching this, have your own theories, have your own information. Feel free to comment in the description. Down below. I'm going to say in the description.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, but visit our community page, visit our Facebook page, Coded Arts. This is just a talk on any topic that we have. We just saw the movie, so we decided let's do this. So we're happy. We look forward to more. And thank you very much.
We don't like Star-Lord.
We don't like Star Lord, and we like Star Lord. Oh, everyone dies.